Hello Gemini, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a timeless reading, which means that whenever you happen to be watching this video is meant to find you. All right, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. This is going to be a general reading. So try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide, all right? Remember that the most important part, Gemini, of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, a star card. Beautiful, wonderful energy. A terrific way to begin a reading. Let's put that into some context. As I do this, I would also like to say that if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments down below. All right. We're going to finish up our Dove and Serpent spread. And there we go. Now we're going to do a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And we're going to use Rider-Waite-Smith for that one. Now this is the card that we set aside. We don't look at it until the very end of the reading. And, well, we're not going to do that one, but we will use that one since it decided that it wanted to be noticed. So the mystery card will go right over there, okay? And hopefully that'll tie everything together and it'll give us the confirmation that we need, right? So what jumps out at me is this, it's Five of Swords. I feel like there's someone in your life, and it is probably another air sign person, but maybe not. Maybe this isn't an air sign person. I feel like there's someone in your life right now that is kind of disrupting your flow, right? Like they're just kind of they're getting in the way of your vibe a little bit. Now, what I mean by that is, I feel like you have this star energy. Maybe we should start with the star. I feel like you have a very keen sense of what your purpose is. You know, I think that you have a very mystical, magical kind of personality, right? I think you're very connected with the divine energies. I think that you have a strong sense that probably, I'd say within the last 11 months, maybe the last year, you've really discovered what your star is, right? You've discovered what it is you're meant to do. You have worked very hard to figure out what you should be doing, where your passion should go. We've got this strength or lust card in the past, okay? So I think you've done the intentional magical work. You've done the inner work, the psychological work, the esoteric work, the mystical, magical practices. You've really worked hard to discover what your star is, because the heavens are vast, right? So it could take lifetimes, many, many lifetimes, to figure out what star up here is ours, right? I think that you've done it almost in record time, right? I think you have opened up a very clear channel to your own particular spark of divinity, your own particular fount, your own wellspring of divinity, right? And I think you're receiving these blessings, you're receiving this guidance. You're really kind of at one with your path right now. I feel like this is something that is tremendously pleasurable for you. We see the 10 of cups right here above everything, and the star energy is receiving. It's kind of pouring, you're receiving, it's pouring down on you, all of this divine energy, all of these heavenly blessings, right? And what we have right above that star energy are these 10 cups. So I feel like it's not running out anytime soon. I feel like you've found the infinite well. You've tapped into this divine energy, and it is flowing into your life in such a way that you've never had anything like this before, okay? You, I feel, are on your way towards complete and utter fulfillment and happiness and pleasure and success. I think you found your purpose. I think that you have, again, with this 11th mystery of the tarot, the lust or strength card, in the relatively recent past, I think that you have maybe stepped into your own independence. I feel like you have gotten away from a lot of forces that were kind of dragging you down. I feel like you've distanced yourself from negativity, right? In the last year of your life, I think that you've made a lot of changes in this regard. I think now you are kind of this beast of power. You know, you have really taken ownership of your life, of your body, of your emotions, of your mind, of your path, of your spiritual energy, your magical energy, your sexual energy. I think that you have, like I said, really divorced yourself from negative influences in such a powerful way. I'm feeling I'm feeling like a real strength or real heat right now. It's almost like muscles just swelling, like you're ready to take on the world, you know? And I think this is an empowering last year for you. I think it's been very empowering. And I think that through that work, you've really tapped into this source of your own pleasure, your own happiness, your own divine grace, these spiritual blessings, this heavenly water that's coming down now and washing over you is unlike anything that you've ever had before, okay? And I'm emphasizing all of this because we've got some of this coming your way. This is, we got the Princess of Swords, we got the Five of Swords. I feel like this is one of those negative forces that you thought you were rid of, right? One of these things that you've divorced yourself from. They may be another air sign person, could be, possibly, all right? I feel like they're bringing some of this negativity back, right? I feel like you have all of this just lovely water energy, right? We've got this, Aquarius. The star card here is the major arcana that rules Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is an air sign, technically, but it's the water bearer. It's the energy that receives the blessings from heaven, from the universe, and, expresses them out into your life. So that's why I'm saying that you're receiving all of this energy, you're receiving all of this heavenly water from above, and you're fulfilling your purpose in your life. You're expressing your creativity in ways, you're expressing your positivity. I think that in the last year, you've really seen a major transformation in yourself. I think people around you have seen this transformation, where now you're just such a confident person. You're such a cheerful person, a generous person, a loving person. It's almost like everything that you do, you're just in love with it. It feels so good. Just even the most mundane stuff, like washing the car or something, washing the dishes or whatever. You feel such an intensity and such a joy and a love doing things, right? But you kind of attract some of this negative air energy. And it could be because you're an air sign. It could be because the star card is technically an air card. But we've got this trouble entering our life, I think, in the next few days, maybe the next 5 days or so. This is one of those negative forces that I think we had tried to divorce ourselves from. I think that they in some way feel rejected by you. And indeed, I think they probably were, because I don't think they're any good for you. I don't think that they are conducive to this new positivity, this new kind of spiritual you that you've got going on, right? So I think you have kind of rejected this person. And I think you were right to do so. But I feel like there's still some energy there lingering. I feel like their feelings are hurt. I feel like they kind of feel that they were slighted or disrespected or, like I said, rejected, right? They feel that they kind of lost this this battle with you, right? And the interesting thing about the five, especially on the Rider-Waite, this is someone who, they like to have the friendly competitions, but then they're kind of they're kind of like a sore winner, right? They're very, not very sportsman-like, sportsperson-like, I think. They're not a very gracious winner, right? And they almost feel like they deserve something from you. I'm getting this feeling like they assume that you walked away from them in defeat, right? Like that somehow you owe them like a congratulations, or like, you know what I mean? That it's a very strange feeling. This person is very, very confusing to me right now, because I feel as if you walked away from them, right? You rejected them, but they're looking at it like they won and you kind of walked away angry, you know? But they feel like they kind of, you know, they got the upper hand on you. But we know that's not the case, but that's how they feel. And now they feel like, oh, okay, well, why are you being such a sore loser? Why don't you come back into the game here, right? So it's a very, like they just seem out of their mind, because this is not how things happened, right? But to them, they feel a little bit arrogant, like, oh, they got the upper hand on you, right? Because you walked away. But you walked away because you don't need this kind of pettiness in your life, right? And with the Princess of Swords here, this I think is really you trying to not to go back into this arena, not to get back in the game with this person, because they just seem like they don't really understand what's going on. It feels like they're so far kind of beneath you right now. And I'm not trying to be elitist or anything like that. It's simple facts, right? They want to play this this weird game, you know, with you, but you don't even care anymore. You're so far beyond this game that if they want to feel like they won, that's fine. Who cares, right? So you're trying to really kind of defend yourself against any impulse at all to get back in the arena with them, right? You're really trying to just not even engage, just to keep your distance from them. Because what it might end up doing is not to corrupt this heavenly water, because the heavenly water is incorruptible, right? But to put you in kind of an emotional state where some of this water energy is manifesting as some negative emotions, some kind of unpleasant feelings, a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of the, like the sour stomach, from this kind of stress. And that's what we don't need. That's what we don't want. So with the Queen of Cups down here, this is water on water. This is the heavenly water that has now become the kind of earthly water of troubled waters, troubled emotions, the kind of just the kind of tainted water that we don't want to indulge in that, right? And we don't want to engage with this person and be brought down to this kind of the mud that's down here beneath, because the Queen of Cups is down here beneath the surface, kind of underground, right? It creates a lot of mud. And we don't want that right now, because we're focused on what's above us, this heavenly water, this 10 of Cups, which is every aspect of your being filled with this loving water, right? Every realm of your life, everything that you do. The 10 of Cups is satiety. This is every cup being full. Now the 10 represents every possible scenario, every possible object, every possible event, every possible experience. You want every experience that you have to be filled with this loving spiritual water. And again, even something as mundane as taking out the trash or washing the dishes or something, right? Every single event can be filled with this beautiful, loving spiritual water, this enjoyment, this kind of divine ecstasy almost, right? And for as long as we can remain in this state, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to be brought down by this perhaps air sign person into this mud, okay? What you want to focus on instead is your future. Three of Discs. This is an understanding of how you take this spiritual feeling, this spiritual experience, this kind of divine energy that you're receiving, and how you extend it into the world in front of you, around you, that we exist in, on the horizontal plane, right? You're going to be doing good works with this energy. So I think this, because I said at the beginning, part of this is you discovering your purpose, right? Well, like what you're kind of meant to be doing. Well, this is you doing what you're meant to be doing. And this is you getting recognition for that, okay? So we don't want to waste our time. This air energy here, this mud, this is kind of just a little side track. This is a little, a deviation, an aberration from our plan. We don't want to worry about that. You need to be aware that that's coming, and we need to resist that, because what we're really focused on is how we're moving forward. How are you going to express this purpose, this divinity, this spirituality that you feel? What are you working on? What are your plans, right? I think that you have, because see, we have fire, earth on over here. We don't have anything in between. So I can't get a read on what kind of work you're doing. I know that you're taking all of your spiritual fire and you're grounding it. You're manifesting it. Fire, putting it into earth. Fire, putting it into the earth. Okay? But I don't have any air or water in between that might tell me what exactly that's going to look like. Do you know what I mean? So maybe you'll leave me some comments and let me know how this fire is manifesting for you. Now, we're going from the fire to the earth, right? We're kind of going through the water here, this kind of like divine waterfall that we kind of have. Because this lust or strength card, and I know I'm kind of all over the place, but this feels like such an intense reading. The strength or lust card in the recent past, the 11th mystery of the tarot, that card is a fire card, okay? And that was the last year of your life, stepping into your power, harnessing your fire, understanding your fire, really getting a handle on it and getting in touch with it, right? And then that fire has to go through this cleansing spiritual kind of waterfall right here in the middle. And we said that the star card is technically an air card, but it has a lot of water energy. It's mostly a water kind of energy, right? Even though technically it's an air card. I know it's confusing. But stick with me. This fire energy has to go through this cleansing spiritual waterfall before it can manifest as this Three of Discs. Okay? That's the process. That's the energy that we're processing right now, right? And then getting into this Three of Discs, this is going to set off a chain reaction of fire, earth, okay? And this is you understanding. The threes are all about understanding. This is you understanding your purpose and how it is going to actually look in the outer world, right? This is you understanding how to take all of this fire and manifest it. What are you manifesting it as? We have to understand that. And that is some understanding that you get through these spiritual waters, this kind of waterfall, this cleansing, baptism kind of thing. So what are you doing? How are you going to manifest this? What is it going to look like? What area of your life are you going to focus this energy on? Is this going to be a new career? Is this going to be a new lifestyle? Is this going to be some kind of a community organization, a charitable thing that you're doing? Are you channeling this into creativity like writing or the arts or, whatever? So many different things. And that's why I'd love to hear from you. I'm kind of curious because we're all very creative, right? I think every one of us is intensely creative. But some of us, like I said at the beginning, sometimes it takes many lifetimes to figure out what this star is. But you seem to have done it in record time. So now I'm very curious how it's going to manifest for you. But it's going to be something that's going to give you the recognition. You're going to be a leader in whatever field you put this effort into. And maybe you're already done with your career, right? Maybe you're in retirement or you're getting close to retirement. In some ways, that's even better, right? Because now we're kind of, we maybe can shift our concerns to something other than just how we're going to make money, how we're going to support our family, etc. I know, as a side note, in this day and age, even in retirement, everybody still has to kind of worry about finances, right? It's not like the old days where you retire and that's your kind of, it's your retirement, right? I don't think retirement really means retirement anymore, but that's just my rant. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. That's what I'm trying to say. We're doing this now, and now is the perfect time. So this is a symbol of you taking this fiery energy and manifesting it. This is you creating basically a campfire, right? Taking that creative energy, you're giving it structure, you're giving it form. You are containing the fire, you're manifesting it in the fire pit for right now, right? And like any kind of a campfire, it's temporary. And it just means that we're traveling, we're on a journey, right? So I think that whatever you're doing has multiple phases to it, different segments. I feel like this is talking about the completion of the first segment of this path that you're on. Now, this first segment could be represented by this whole path of the dove. Okay, this could be the first stage of this is completing now. Right, through this energy. So this is kind of phase one, right? This is our first campfire. We're going to stop for the night. We're going to set up camp, and we're going to manifest the fire, you know. And every time you build this campfire, it's going to be in a different place. The fire seems like it's always the same, right? But it's different wood. It's a different environment. There's different air, you know. The environment's different. The scene is different. But the fire always looks the same, right? The very next card is the Six of Discs. This is material success. This is really the first major kind of event. It's almost like, it's almost like your first art showing, your first event, like literal event, your first gala or something. And this is really the grand opening of whatever you're doing, okay? And it's such a success. It goes off without a hitch. People love it. The response from the world is just astounding. And you're really feeling the vibe here. You really are kind of catching your own fire, right? And this is a lot of success. But we know that this is only yet another segment in the journey, right? So this is kind of the grand opening, but like any business or we're using the business as an analogy. Now, maybe you're doing a business thing, maybe it's something else. But when you have your grand opening, that's the beginning, right? That's one milestone. We've opened the store, right? Now we got to do the work to make it a success, to build, to grow, right? So there's another milestone coming, the first anniversary or the 5th anniversary or whatever. But initially, this thing's going to be very successful. The response is going to be tremendous, okay? And then the next card is in the position of our challenges, kind of, right? It's the Two of Wands. It's kind of our fear, what we're worried about. We may be a little bit worried about a struggle for control over this thing. It could be a kind of a practical, it could be a practical scenario where you've created this successful thing, and now you really want to maintain control over it, creative control at the very least, right? Because it's your fire, right? But I feel like you don't want to have to battle someone else's fire, right? So maybe this is the occasion to kind of team up with somebody else. Maybe there's like a merger. Maybe somebody wants to partner with you, and that's going to be a challenge for you because you don't want to lose creative control. It's your baby, So this might be a challenge for you in the future. Should you accept a partnership with someone? Should you allow this merger or this partnership or this association? Or should you stay independent? Well, maybe the mystery card will help us out with that too a little bit. This card is also kind of a reminder that we need to sometimes go back to this lust or strength card, right? Because this is the 11th mystery of the tarot, and what we have here are the 2 singles, so we can kind of make a leap to an 11, right? So this takes us back to the lust or strength card. That means we kind of have to go back, excuse me, we have to go back to this energy sometimes and kind of reacquaint ourselves with ourselves again. Okay? So it's a reminder to cycle back to this luster strength and make sure that you're owning your power. Make sure that you reconnect with yourself and your spirituality and your essence and your passion and your fire. And maybe go through this spiritual waterfall again. Maybe we have to repeat this whole path of the dove thing again every once in a while. Okay? Just as a way to renew our energy, to refresh ourselves so that we can be ready for this next segment of our path. Okay? Now, the next segment is an active 9 of discs. Now, this isn't a grand opening because with the 6 is an even number. It's kind of a passive card, right? This is a state of being. This is the state of being newly opened, let's say. Excuse me, gosh, still with that chest congestion. It's been weeks now. The 9 is an active card. So it's not the state of being newly opened. Now this is the state of making this thing a success and reaching the next milestone. This is all the work that we have to do to get to the next milestone. Right? This is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of satisfaction. It's a lot of being rewarded for the work you're doing. Right? It's really, and the other thing about this is it's not just one particular path, or it's not just one track. Because this card, the 9, is also about the foundation of things. So it could be that this whole thing is really just the first segment, right? And you're creating this first thing as a foundation for the real stuff you're doing later. You know what I mean? I mean, this seems like such a lifetime's worth of work right now. And the success and the recognition and the extravagance. But maybe this is all just the setup for something even greater. Okay, so maybe what you're still working on, even with all of this, is still the ground floor, right? This is still phase 1, perhaps. And that's very interesting. And I think your potential is limitless. Astronomical opportunities here. Because I think whatever you're building, if you choose, it could just be the springboard to kind of catapult you into what you were really meant for. You know, this could just be the foundation of it all. And it's how you choose to use it, and I guess how often you go back to this luster strength card and build up even more of this force and fire and this creativity and this energy and this ambition. The only limit to how far you can go is you. And I'm very excited to even be able to read tarot for you. I kind of feel like I know you a little bit, and I feel really privileged that I get to, in some indirect way, be a part of your path and your success. You know, so I hope you'll leave me some comments. I'd like to go with this mystery card now. I want to get rid of this kind of air energy. I don't like that person. I don't think they're going to be much of a bother. You just have to be firm, you know, and not sink back into that kind of. That's just it's so far beneath you right now, you know. Mystery card, maybe some more water energy, maybe some practical water energy, not so much this spiritual waterfall, but maybe a 3, maybe a 6 of cups to show the pleasure that you're going to get along the way here, you know, something like that perhaps. No, a 3 of swords. A 3 of swords. Now this is telling me, because one, I asked the question about should you team up and join forces or accept a partnership or a buyout or a merger or something. Then we get the 3 of swords, which is sorrow, which is regret. I think the answer to that is no. I think you should stay independent. Stay autonomous as much as you can. You know, stay at least in control. Maintain your 51%, you know. Also, as a confirmation card, as kind of a bonus card here, we have the connection with the air. So I feel like there might be more temptation to enter into the relationship with this person again, right? Because I didn't want to get back to this person because I feel like they're so far beneath you. But I think that part of you does part of you does kind of miss them in a weird way. I think that there is a little bit of a desire to engage with that person again. But I feel like if you think about it enough, you'll remember how silly that whole thing is and how negative and just how bad for you that energy was. And you'll choose to make a different decision, okay? It could be in your heart, you really kind of, you miss the person. You got some feelings there maybe. But you know better because you remember how negative it was, how much it maybe held you down, pulled you down, how toxic it was, how just silly and unproductive it was, how frivolous, whatever. And that, I think, will allow you to make the right decision. The Three of Swords is all about the memory of something that we may have this emotional attachment to, for whatever reason, good or bad. We have an emotional attachment to something, maybe nostalgia, maybe a sentimentality. But our rational mind, our memories, right, our psyche is reminding us, showing us pictures of what it was like. And then we say, oh, yeah, no. I'm not going to go back there. As much as I feel kind of pulled in that direction, I know better. Okay. So I think this is a confirmation about this maybe air sign person, but this one of these people that you've walked away from, I think, coming back. And then also I think it is also a nay to my question about should you do this merger, this partnership that might come your way in the future. I think the answer there is no. Maintain your independence, keep your 51%. Okay. What we're going to do now is an extended, and if you want to stick around for that, please click on the link that's right up there. And you can have access to all of the extended readings. Okay. This was your timeless tarot reading, which means that whenever you happen to be watching this reading was meant for you. And I encourage you to watch either some past Gemini readings or check out your other placements, your sun, your moon, your rising, maybe even your Mercury and Venus placements would be a good place to start, I want to thank you so much for giving me the privilege and the honor to read for you. Thank you for being here today on Dove and Serpent Tarot.